Hello guys and welcome back again to the channel. So this is your girl Andy React, and guess what guys, thank God it is Friday, TGIF, as today is the best days of the week for OGOP guys. Alright guys, moving on, let's take a look at what is trending around in the whole country, Nigeria, as the people of the Rise TV news that take us around the trending happenings in the country guys, as Rufai and Dr. Abati and all the ladies in the studios react to what's trending. As the studios today was a bit sad, but it was a hot one today guys, as usual guys. Alright guys, let's take a look at the people of the Rise TV as they go into details and carry us around the world on the trending happenings guys. Let's take a look.
Unfortunately, we're starting on a sad note. Good morning to you viewers. Let's begin what's trending in Niger State, where at least 21 people have lost their lives after a deadly flood disaster ravaged two communities in the early hours of Thursday. Well, according to the Niger State Emergency Management Agency, the surge in flood water submerged and washed away over 50 residential houses, along with their occupants, including women and children. The flood was said to have been caused by a heavy downpour of rain. Let's take a look. Oh, this is so sad, really. I mean, I believe that they said that the death toll is expected to rise. Some residents say as many as 50 people may have died. And the flood also cut off the road linking the northern and southern parts of Nigeria through Mokwa. I believe we have the headline on Daily Trust saying, reporting the same. We had reached out to our reporter in Niger. It says family loses 12 members. Still waiting for, our correspondent on his report about the incident in Niger State. I mean, those people, may their souls rest in peace. It's really, really a sad incident. I don't know, I think you wanted to say something about this. Something. Yeah.
May the departed rest in peace. But you see, like I say here, culture will eat strategy for breakfast. And today, I like to apportion blames. In 2024, we had a flood incident in Niger that was so grave that about 1.4 million people were displaced. We know when it's rainy season, Niger is a big flashpoint with flood. The question is, what have we done to be able to mitigate it? So since we had that big flood incident in 2024, what have we done till date? Houses were submerged in Mokwa. The road has been cut off. One of the questions I even wanted to ask the minister is, what about the east-west road? Have we even been able to fix that road effectively? Because if you remember the floods of a couple of years ago that really affected the east-west road. So what have we been able to do? Were there warnings? What was the meteorological agencies doing? Do we have adequate preparation and humanitarian conditions to be able to help these people? Because we know it will happen every year. Either if we, remove water from Lagdo Dam and the thing flows down and all that, it will always happen. So what is the further preparation? I think number one should be sensitization. Number two should be evaluating the topography and see what we can do to be able to mitigate the effects through clearing of drainages and things like that. Number three should also be the use of AI to be able to effectively geographically map, one, two, predict potential weather patterns, and three, to be able to organize relief mechanisms in place to be able to help these people.
This is it.
So, as we speak today, what are the register of those missing?
Yeah.
What are we doing as regards humanitarian agencies? And fourthly, please, I would like all well-meaning Nigerians, if we can donate to these victims.
Yes, absolutely.
To be able to help them at a time like this.
Right.
It will happen again, but what are we doing to mitigate it?
You've done very well.
The real embarrassment here is that this happens repeatedly.
Yes.
This has been the case for more than a decade. Every year when it is rainy season, there's something they call floodplains. those floodplains on the banks of River Niger and River Benue are always affected. Now, about a decade ago, over 32 states of the Federation, as far as Delta and Edo State, were flooded, just because Nigeria is not prepared. So it's either during the rainy season, or it is during the time that Cameroon releases water from the Lagdo Dam. We have not been able to find an answer to the problem with the Lagdo Dam. So why is this so perennial and the Nigerian government has not been able to address it? The challenge is for President Tinubu, on whose table the buck stops. Can he make a difference to make sure that this perennial flooding does not continue? The case of Niger State is particularly sad because we have a governor in Niger State, Farmer Bago, Governor Bago, who is investing a lot in agriculture. Now, when we have this problem of flooding, you measure it in terms of food insecurity. Many of the farms looking towards second harvest season, they are destroyed. And then all the achievements will be wiped out. This is why this flooding problem, whether it's in Niger State or Lagos State or Delta State or the floodplains of River Benue, should be considered a national emergency by a president who says he is committed to climate change and the environment. These are the issues, in my view.
Can I just quickly say, just in one sentence, NEMA has launched a national preparedness and, what is it called? Preparedness and response campaign. They're going from state to state attempting to do so.
They do that every year.
They do it every year, but I'm just trying to say that they need to maybe re-strategize and see, because they actually had a stakeholders engagement just yesterday before this flood happened in Niger State. So
NIMET, by the same token, NIMET every year, once as early as January, that look, there's going to be flooding in so number of states. We are never prepared. That is the issue. Whether it's NEMA or NIMET, yes, it's not lack of intelligence, it's not lack of information, it's the lack of political will to deal with the problem.
12 members of one family, 50 are Malgeri. That's what's been reported.
Nigeria happened to them.
Nigeria happened to them. May their souls rest in peace. We will follow up on this story. But in the meantime, the West African Examinations Council has attributed the significant delays that led to some candidates writing the English language paper of the 2025 Senior School Certificate Examination late into the night to its efforts at preventing examination malpractice. Well, according to WAEC, their primary objective was to prevent the leakage of question papers and maintain the integrity of the examination. However, their efforts inadvertently caused logistical setbacks, security concerns, and social-cultural factors that impacted the timely and seamless conduct of the paper. The head of WAEC's Nigeria National Office, Amos Dangote, revealed in a televised interview on Thursday that the change was made after the council received intelligence that Wednesday's papers was about to be compromised. Vimbai, I mean, this story, they're apologizing, saying that they got intelligence, and so that is the reason why they let our children write papers at night. There's also a picture, if we can pull up that picture, on Wednesday in Taraba State, where the actual exam hall collapsed. Collapsed with people. There it is. That's the picture in Taraba State where the exam hall collapsed. This is completely unacceptable. I do not buy this, narrative that they are trying to make sure that there is not exam malpractice and then subject our students, our children, to write late at night. What if they didn't have their parents there? What if some of those students will have to go home late at night? At this time, it's unfortunate, really. With the insecurity. I was about to say that, but I could not believe that that was the excuse that WAEC gave.
Very, very pitiful excuse.
Yes.
When I saw that they had responded and they wanted to say something, I went through it looking for something something tangible, something real. nothing in the world excuses what happened to these poor students. And an apology is not enough. It was yesterday that I said the best form of apology is change behavior.
Yes.
So what needs to happen here is that there needs to be a re-examination that is set for these students at a convenient, at a realistic time and location, so that they can attempt to, at least they've worked hard, they've studied. So it needs to translate into results for them. And the system needs to not fail them when they're at their most vulnerable. You know, yesterday we made the point that these are young people who are just trying to make something of themselves, trying to begin the journey to their future, and then you sabotage them. We can't sabotage our young people like this. So, you know, I'm waiting for the statement where they say that the exam has been rescheduled and when it will be resat, and also not that it will just be rescheduled, because, you know, with the with the UTME exams, some students were unable to resit because they didn't even have transport to get back to the examination venue. So there also needs to be logistical support to ensure that all the students will be able to get back to the examination venue, because this is not their fault. So the burden of trying to correct this wrong shouldn't fall on these students and their families. The organization is responsible for ensuring that they get to the exam venue, that the conditions are conducive to being able to do their best and prove that they really did. I mean, look at this. I say exam malpractice. They're sitting on top of each other for crying out loud.
How can they not do exam malpractice in the dark with touchlight? And we also saw candle lights. I don't know if you saw those videos of our children writing with candle lights.
But perhaps they are trying to. When back in the days, why that I know, you will space people. Look at how they are clustered around each other, even looking at the other person.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
I just see. Look at that one. See.
Unbelievable.
See exam practice already on TV.
Well,
see that one looking. She wear.
Come on, it's inexcusable, really.
Nigeria.
Very quickly, from writing exams at midnight, which I said already raises questions about the integrity of that English language paper. I hope they will cancel that exam that was written this week and reschedule the English language paper exams. And then secondly, apology is not enough. The persons responsible for this should be sanctioned, even if it includes the removal of the head of WAEC Nigeria. This kind of situation is totally unacceptable, and the Ministry of Education has issued a statement to that effect. The Ministry of Education of Nigeria should follow up in that regard.
Well said, Dr.
Number two, the school that collapsed in Taraba. Who is the contractor? Who is the funny roadside engineer who built that particular structure? I think that contractor should be identified and should be sanctioned. The main point here is that we have been talking about the Safe School Initiative. The Safe School Initiative is not just about perimeter fencing to keep out bandits and kidnappers. How can students be writing an exam and the building will collapse? Look, they make this country look like a joke to outsiders.
Is it not?
No, they make it look like. I'm not saying it's a joke.
It's a joke not on them. It's not on all of us. Are we not a joke to outsiders already?
So the embarrassment is written large, and I think that there should be investigation, and that contractor who built that structure, you will be surprised. That structure may not be up to 1 year old, even if it is 5 years old.
Right.
The persons responsible for that should be sanctioned. But the good news is that we have not heard that there were casualties among the children.
Yes, that's the good news. Well, in Anambra State, and this is, talking about the Safe School Initiative, the government has cleared the streets of child beggars in the state capital, Awka. The children will be reintegrated into schools, with the government footing the bill. In a statement, the Awka Capital Territory Development Authority said the move marks a zero-tolerance stance on street kids in the capital. The agency also warned residents to stop bringing food and gifts to areas where the children used to gather. Those exploiting minors as street hawkers have also been cautioned, with the government, vowing to enforce the law against offenders. Please, I thought it was important to highlight the state to also encourage other state governors to emulate Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo. I mean, this is such a great initiative. If the state is going ahead to say this is what we want to do in this certain area, we also encourage, our philanthropists like our Rufai, our very own Rufai, to also do the same. Yeah. How many out-of-school children do we have now? But accordingly, they said over 15 million at this point. 15 million, yes. So over 15 million at this. I think this is such a great initiative. A quick comment on that, and then we'll move to our next story.
I think you've said it all, because especially because this is not just prevalent in Anambra State. We have a nationwide problem, especially in the north of the country.
Yes.
And if we can find sustainable solutions to educate, to house, to feed, we'll go a long way. We'll go a long way, especially with regards to eradicating insecurity, eradicating poverty. So this is a very positive move. And like you said, I hope this is something that we can copy and paste in the various states.
Well, all right.
Let's be specific.
Yes.
We commend Professor
Charles
Chukwuma Soludo for saying that, these children should be off the streets. Over 50 million children, according to UNICEF, are out of school in Nigeria. Now, Anambra State has some of the most entrepreneurial, most educated persons in Nigeria. Most of those children, they are not probably Igbos. Igbos don't beg. The Igbos are a very hardworking group. The people that are responsible for these out-of-school children are mainly the northern states. I've made a point on this table repeatedly that northern leaders have been discussing education of their children since 1959 when they held the first conference. And so the people who should emulate what Governor Soludo is trying to do to make sure that these children go to school and they are not on the streets are the leaders of the north. To make sure that these children who are talented otherwise, who are brilliant, if you have met people from the north who go to school, they are very brilliant people. I know many of them who are exceptional, geniuses, but it's the leadership that is the problem. So this is a message for other leaders of Nigeria to make sure that we have to invest in children. And this is the month of May. May 27th, we celebrated Children's Day.
Yes.
So Governor Soludo's message is in fitting with the May 27th Children's Day theme. And it says people who are going to give them food should no longer do so. But the overall objective is making sure that Nigerian children, their potentials are properly harnessed.
Well said, Dr. Abati. Again, kudos, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo.